So obviously we know that they passed that it passed. It's a bipartisan bill. Both Republicans and Democrats supported it. It passed a while ago. Now the limit is up. They were supposed to either sell or they're going to get banned. TikTok has always vehemently said that they will not sell, and they've always stuck to that. The Supreme Court heard their, arguments, not looking good. The Supreme Court doesn't seem like, I can't remember if they did put out their decision or not, but from the questions that they were asking, people were like, okay, they're definitely leaning towards not allowing this app to be accessible. And then a senator tried to go and put out a bill to extend the ban date so that it's available for longer. And Tom Cotton was actually the senator that was like, no, get that out of my face.
Oh, of course you did that.
Yeah, it was Tom Cotton for sure. So right now, the 19th is the last day of TikTok for Americans. We're not going to be able to access it. Basically, when you try to open the app, it's just going to show you like there's a ban, and then it's just going to redirect you to a website that explains the ban. Now, I have heard rumbles that if you get a VPN, you can probably access it. But I don't know how strict America is going to be in a sense where they're going to put you on a terrorist watch list if you do that. I don't know. So I don't know. Do what you want, but
that would
I'm just saying.
Why would they do that though? No, they won't do that. That's insane.
They put you on a no-fly list, maybe. People have been on for really
no-fly list for being on TikTok.
Something, I don't know.
So is it coming back or not? Because the consensus, people went online and said, since Biden said he ain't even messing with it. That's not his business.
He said he's not going to enforce it after he signed the bill.
So then I guess leaving it up to Trump to have the fate of it. But I feel like, Trump would love it to say that he saved TikTok for the children.
Oh, for sure.
So I feel like for him, this is a great opportunity. Donald Trump, I feel like he's a great opportunity. He can't wait to get his hands on this type of thing so he can say, look what I did for America. I'm the one that did that for y'all. Yeah. So
no, he's doing the same thing with the ceasefire too. I mean, it's the same 1980 Jimmy Carter, Iran hostage deal where Carter was working on it for so long, and then Reagan just comes in first day and he's like, look at what I did, when it wasn't actually Reagan that did anything. But no, you're right, Rebecca. It's the same exact MO. Trump is like, I'm going to save it. Now, he can't override what SCOTUS says unless he can get Congress and Senate to unanimously pass a new bill. Like, it's going to be very hard to try to bring back TikTok once SCOTUS makes their decision. But he is going to have a majority Senate and House. So never say never, even though a lot of Republicans are against it. He might be able to pull something. I don't know.
So, so outside of the whole like political, aspect of it, I feel like personally, I'm not a TikTok girl, but I know that you are, Ariana. And I know that it will affect people if it does, have a ban on the 19th. And that's just in what? Less than 48 hours? No, that's 48 hours. I'm not good at math. But, so I feel like with that, the whole conversation, the scare, right? The fear that it's put on people online, the discourse is what bothers me, right? It started off with people, saying, hey, this is my coin. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do because this is work for me. Just like everybody else on other spaces, it's the same, right? For people who make it on TikTok, they make their coin on TikTok. So the discourse is what bothers me. And I'll get to the other apps, but the discourse is what bothers me because people are trying to tell people how to feel about it. People are trying to do the how-tos, how to start making your stuff long form for you to get here. And now it's making people go into a frenzy. You need to hurry up and pack up your stuff, and you never know what could happen. You get over to YouTube, and some people aren't built for YouTube. Maybe like it's just like a whole thing right now that I think, and people are downing each other. Some people who got one follower on their stuff are saying how they can't wait for it to go. It's a whole discourse that's driving people bananas outside of the discourse, because there are people who And then with the discourse, though, it's actually pretty telling. I'm gonna add this and I'm gonna walk it out. But the people who are your favorites, you can tell, especially when it comes to like their content is about serious things or politics or whatever. They are so focused they're more focused on, monetization or whatever the case may be. How can I, or followers, how can I go and grow my following on this or on that or what? I think that they have to look beyond that. I don't like that a lot of people are so focused on that when, hey, you already are great. Take your stuff somewhere else. And I'm pretty sure your people who follow you here will follow you somewhere else, whatever. Now, outside of that, it might take some work because everything is going to take some work. But outside of that, it's I guess there's the app Red Note, which I will not be downloading because, baby, I got too many. That's
what I said. Yeah, it's too much.
But Red Note, I think I think it's a Chinese, the Chinese like version of what TikTok would be here.
It's more like Instagram, right?
It's like the Chinese version of Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, so it has pictures and stuff. Okay, so but I was seeing that, and I see a lot of discourse around that too. Again, I haven't downloaded it, but I don't know. But I see a lot of discourse around that where people are loving it and saying, hey, this is an open space. They're receiving us well. I thought that was good. Okay, good for them. And then I see the other side of it where Americans are going on there and acting a fool on the people's stuff and getting banned and they ain't doing right on the people's stuff. And that's the problem. Like, y'all can't go into this space where it was protected for people and then y'all go and act a fool. And people are complaining about, oh, it sucks because I got banned off of there in 2 seconds, because it's different. You can't go over there cursing, showing ass and titty, and then being like, it's a free space, but they banned me. So why is it, I think that, be nice. Don't be walking in people's house with dirty shoes on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So a couple of things. One thing I want to highlight. So yeah, I have almost 300,000 followers on TikTok. TikTok is like a pretty substantial part of my income. That's obviously I'm going to lose that. But it's not just,
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully not. I hope they're going to keep it. So
yeah, we'll see. But it's not just oh, you post your little dancing videos and you make money. It's like, first of all, TikTok pays out creators the most. I get paid out anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a month. So they pay substantially more for short form content than any other app. Second of all, there's 7 million American small businesses on TikTok. 7 million that literally they depend on TikTok to sell their products and stuff like that. But also, only 11% of all content creators make a livable wage, meaning 50,000 to 100,000, and only a couple percent of those make 500,000 and up, right? And so when you look at the other 50, like, it's about 30% of content creators that have monetized that can't make a living off of it. Most content creators who make money are literally just trying to put food on their table. It's just a matter of, hey, I just need $500 extra to like carry me to the next month so I can pay my gas and I can cover rent. And so I think a lot of people aren't really grasping that fully. But when it comes to the the Chinese version of Instagram, first of all, listen, I understand America's propaganda against China. Like, we make every country that we don't like a boogeyman, to be completely honest. Like, that's literally what we do. And that's coming from a Middle Eastern woman who had to live through the war on terror propaganda from the Pentagon. So trust me. But there's some things about the Chinese government that just does not really align with American, how we operate here. For example, any of my content creator friends who went on there who even put a rainbow in their bio, not even any mention of being gay, lesbian, queer, whatever, they got shadow banned and they got their profiles nixed off. There's other things that you just cannot speak freely about on Red Note. And so, yeah, it's the Chinese government. If you talk about the Uyghurs, you're banned. If you talk about different things that they don't want you to talk about, you're going to get banned. So there's other things about that I feel like people aren't really grasping either. But also, I feel like it kind of goes down to the conversation we were having about Americans being fucking annoying when they travel. or being tourists. So a lot of Americans went into this app and they were like, oh my God, Chinese people, they're actually so cool. They're actually so nice. Like, they're amazing. And then you had a bunch of bigger creators come on and they're like, hey, welcome. We love that you're here. Please don't infantilize us. And, like, we're human. Don't treat us like weird. And like, you're surprised that we're nice. Like, what did you think we were? And so it's just, the whole thing is just such a shit show. That's all I have to say. It's a fucking shit show. And it's just like,
I was going to say, if they actually cared about data privacy, they would have passed the Data Privacy Protection Act that applies to all social media. It was very directly targeted at a time when it was pretty apparent that this was the app where a very large amount of younger people, especially, were suddenly becoming quote unquote radicalized towards supporting Palestine. When at the end of the day, I think anyone who's looking at, a genocide in 4K, it doesn't really matter what your political leanings are. You're going to be like, oh, that's pretty messed up. It was, I think, one of the primary reasons why it was targeted. And it's also really sad that now that, Gaza has effectively been destroyed, it's one of the reasons why that is suddenly a reversal of, okay, well, now is an opportunity for us to look like the hero. Trump could do it by restoring TikTok, or Biden could do it by being like, oh, we were joking all along. We're going to get it unbanned now. Don't worry. So we'll see.
I hope they keep it for people who, like, everybody has their space, and a lot of creators are online. I know that people can't wait. I don't really see. It's not my space, right? TikTok. I be on there. Got a few videos every now and again. When I want to sing something, I might go over there and sing a little bit. When I want to post something random, I might go over there and do that. But what I go there for is to put, Haitian food recipe, or lemon pepper wings recipe, Black people, because you got to add that at the end. And I know that I'm going to, for the last 5 years, I've been in the kitchen so much, and because of TikTok, when I need to condense, or when I need to find video, I used to go to, or video for my to take for my own content. Like, if I'm talking about a news story on Like It or Not, and I need to hurry up and find it quick, cut it, give it to my producer, whatever, I can do that from TikTok, and I can download it, no issue, no stress. And I used to do it on Twitter. I used to have to search for it, but baby, while the person is talking, the person didn't even finish their statement, right, at the press conference, but I can go to TikTok and it's already fully uploaded. Okay. It's fully uploaded, and I can grab that and go. So whatever I need on TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. Like, TikTok has been helpful to me, and it sucks to see what could happen to the people, on there. People dance, people do their thing, they make a coin, right? But the minority creators who are on there, this is an opportunity for them to. This has been an opportunity for them to create and make money, from their work. And I feel like people aren't realizing that aspect of it too. So what's up, Ben? Ben, you ain't hear me. We were talking about you earlier. Ben, we was talking about you earlier, and then
there's a clip
that they played. There's a clip that they played that you have to grab, where the Anna Raspberrian from their show. But anyways, yes. So I think about that. I think about a lot of people who have worked hard for their page. They didn't get it easy on TikTok, and so I'm not gonna be a hater to be like, they need to take away TikTok. For every single damn platform has copy off of Instagram, TikTok in some way, shape, or form. Well, some are harder to get monetized on than others. Some are harder to get followers on than others. Some are hard to just consistently create on, whatever. But TikTok, a lot of people were able to get in there and start creating and making some form of income, or getting their work out there, or people have, like you said, their businesses are on there. People have ads or other people that they're sponsored by from on TikTok or whatever. So it'll be a big thing for a lot of people. I don't like the responses to people on TikTok being that the haters, and I'm talking about the haters. I don't like that their responses to people, to TikTokers, is get a real job.
That was so annoying.
Now you got to
Yeah.
figure out, because and we talk about this on an upcoming show with Olay and friends, and it's like I have so many thoughts about that. Like, you can't get a real job. I don't like it, but it does goes to show, like, going then I saw people, at first I was with it in the beginning when they were saying TikTok is going away. I'm like, damn, the hysteria. But there are people like, 3 things that you need to do to move to another platform. Like, I'm like, oh, so now you a guru? Because you ain't really like, and now you a guru on telling people where to go. And it's like, you need to go here. Anytime. It was almost as if the world is ending. You need to pack up and go somewhere to a platform that you own, that you can do, that you can. And people were really like, okay, underneath the comment section of this person who really just got on TikTok, but was underneath the comment, like saying, well, what should I do next? Where should I go? And how should I do this? And it's like the hysteria. People didn't know what to. I don't like that they were I just don't like they were preying on the people on TikTok in their pain. I don't like it. And then there was a cool down period where people were like, well, I'm just going over to Red Note because they're going to start offering us money. Somebody put up an email today, like, Red Note is sending out emails for collabs. Get on it, y'all. And it's just like, it's too much.
Okay.
People are still trying to figure out if TikTok is going away. Like, they're trying to, figure out what to do with that. It doesn't make them less of a creator. Yeah, it doesn't make them less of a. I need people to understand, it doesn't make them less of a creator because they're on TikTok. I think that's just hateration, as Mary J. Blige said.
Yeah,
it's just
I can't get
hateration
any
in the
traction
holleration
on TikTok. Like, it's sad because like just for me personally, like, this year makes 10 years that I've been grinding the fuck away on YouTube all this time. If that was just taken away from me like that, I would be devastated. And that's what the government is doing. They're taking away people's livelihoods. They're taking away Ariana's livelihoods. And like, some of these creators, like on my TikTok video, like, these are people that are fucking radicalized because of this. And that was the point of the video. But like, they're not necessarily political, but they are now. Like, one of the guys was a country singer. And he's like, how come we have people dying for healthcare, but they're banning TikTok? Another guy who organized an entire boycott of Meta in response, his name is Bradley Thorian, or Thorian Bradley. Like, he is not political. He got political after the election, and all his videos are just like thirst traps of him like chopping wood, like, and posing. And he got 10 million followers because of that. And just, it's taken away like that. And now he's radicalized. Like, it's sad because they're just stripping people of their livelihoods for no fucking reason. And it's backfiring tremendously.
And there's guns out there to be banned, right? There's so many things that they can go and ban, but they're choosing not to do it. And TikTok is where they draw the line, because but Twitter's out there where you can watch full porn videos. Full porn.
Right.
On Twitter. On X, excuse me.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
You get it's absolutely, because kids can log on there and just see all the things.
Kids can log on to any website, though. I don't know.
No, I was gonna say, you know how they're banning porn, or they're making you enter in your driver's license for like Texas if you want to watch porn. Like, you could just go to Twitter.
They ban it in other cities. People are mad about it.
Well, you could just go to Twitter. So
there's a lot of places.
It's a weird.
People are mad about it. I'm like, dang.
I would be fucking pissed.
No, but seriously. But seriously though, like, I just feel like the discourse around it has been very troublesome. I feel like people are looking. I saw somebody have an argument that people need to have paranormal relationships now. It's going to force us. I mean, I don't think that banning TikTok will do that. I do think that we need to start touching grass a little bit, but touching people is not my thing unless my man. Like, it's not. I don't really want to do that.
I will never touch grass, Rebecca. How dare you?
It's like, they were talking about having transferable skills. I do believe that, because I do believe that if we just focus on, just keeping it in this one space, if you're creative, I believe that you have what it takes just to be. But not everybody is trying to be out on the scene, like on a stage. This is some people's place, right? Like on the internet, and they're really good at it. Some people are not. I'm going to say that some people are not, but there are some people who are really good at it. This is their space. Not everybody is going to do television news, right? They're good in this space. And so I don't know. It's a lot of discourse that I've been seeing, and it's driving me nuts, because people are going crazy, and they're looking to these people that I think are straying them wrong. But I've also really seen your favorites, and how they really give it up. And I'm like, oh, this is how you guys really give it up. So y'all not even really for real radicals or progressives or nothing. Y'all really just here for the coin. Y'all really TYT in it. And that's what I've seen with this possible ban of TikTok. I really don't think I don't think, maybe I'm not feeling like it's really gonna be a full ban. I feel like maybe like Trump will be like, oh, they took it away, but I can bring it back for you. I can get it back. I can do that for you.
So.
And like, I feel like that's gonna be the thing. I don't want to put it in Trump's hand, but he likes clout. He likes to sign paperwork.
It's an easy win for him, right? He could say, hey, Democrats banned it, I brought it back, and Gen Z, give me credit. It's just it's such a fucking, and Nancy Pelosi had to be an imbecile and make a big spectacle about the whole tic-tac-toe. So now everybody associates this ban with Democrats, even though it was bipartisan. It's just it's an unforced error. Like, it's an unnecessary way to piss off
Trump tried to do it. He just
generation.
didn't have support in Congress.
I just want to say, like, the issue here is that the American government is just, and I was having a debate with my best friend about this, the American government is just not convincing. Like, you cannot convince me that China is a scary adversary if you have Cory Booker on there doing dances, TikTok dances for campaign money for Kamala Harris. Like, I'm going to be real honest. It's not very convincing when you have, Kamala Harris HQ dancing around with TikTok.
The White House.
Joe Biden, White House.
They're all
everyone, top to bottom, they're all on TikTok. So you're telling me that TikTok is somehow a data adversary, even though there's record of Facebook colluding with Russian bots to get Trump elected. But no, TikTok. So here's the thing, like, it's like, if you want to convince American people that something's an adversary, you have to be convincing. And they're just not being convincing. And so now you have a much bigger problem because you have hundreds of thousands of people that have signed up for a app that is now owned and operated by the Chinese Communist Party. So good luck, babe. But it's just like, it's just the way this whole thing has backfired. I really hope obviously, I know they're not going to learn their lesson, because here's the thing. They think this is early 2000s where you can just go on a podium, say, war on terror, have Caroline Maloney wear a burqa in Congress, say that Islam is coming to America to radicalize everyone. And then everyone in majority is on board with two major wars, right? We're not at that point in stage anymore because we have social media and phones to photograph and film everything. We can't, you're saying that Gaza is X, Y, and Z while we're seeing in 4K a genocide happen in front of us. Even though you're trying to murder all the journalists, we're still seeing it. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's not early 2000s where you could just hop on the podium and just say, China's an adversary, we have to ban TikTok. You're not convincing. The same propaganda tactics will not work because of technology and because of social media. So it's turned into like, the snowball effect where the snowball keeps falling down the mountain and the snowball keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's literally what it's turning into. They're either going to learn their lesson and actually try to convince people when they want to tell us that there's an adversary, instead of having Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and everyone and their mom having TikTok accounts and dancing for some campaign money. It just doesn't make sense. Like, 2 + 2 = 5. Like, it's not adding up, That's what pisses me off.
Well, they all.
Did we mention this? I just want to bring this up quickly.
Yeah.
Joe Biden won't enforce a ban on the social media. This is from an hour ago. Won't enforce a ban on TikTok.
Thanks, Joe.
So it's up to Trump, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned like a little bit earlier. Like, he said that in whatever he was coming out with. Go ahead.
Trump is like openly saying that he changed his mind on TikTok after it helped him win, in his words, win the election. Like,
so it's probably not going to get banned then if they're both not for it after all of this fucking hoopla for a year.
Of course. I mean, the whole ridiculous thing about all this is like they just wanted, and it wouldn't surprise me based on what we've heard, they were pressured. They felt the pressure from big tech in the U.S. because companies like Meta have made it very clear that they view TikTok as a threat to their bottom line. That they saw this as an opportunity to use the whole you know, the security implications of having a China-based app so popular in the country, and then of course the added issue with how young people were using it to get news about Israel and Palestine and what was happening in Gaza, what is happening in Gaza, I should say. And you know, I think all those forces came together and basically like, yeah, we'll pass this law, and they'll be forced to sell it. They really thought ByteDance would just sell it. Like, they really thought this would force their hand. They were not expecting to be days away from the ban, and for ByteDance to just be like, guess we're shutting it down on Sunday. Like, this will be, if this happens on Sunday, and it still can, the Biden and the administration can say all they want about not enforcing it. TikTok said that they will take the site down and like display like a prompt explaining why it's not working for U.S. People in the U.S. That's not part of the law. TikTok can still run as normal. The law basically states that app stores like Apple's App Store and Google Play can't have the app download. Like, they can't provide the app as a download. Like, you would still be able to have TikTok on your phone. You just wouldn't be able to get any updates for it if you're an iOS user, because you can't download anything outside of the App Store. But TikTok is calling it a bluff every single step of the way, and now they're running backwards because they don't want. This is gonna be what people remember. Obviously there's plenty to remember about Joe Biden's administration, Joe Biden's legacy as president, but the very last thing, like, this is literally his last day as president. If they go offline, and that is the final day of Joe Biden's presidency, that will be remembered as. That will be the freshest thing that he did on their mind.
In true Democrat fashion, leave with a terrible and horrible bang.
Yep.
Like, what were they thinking? What were they thinking even when they signed this and put the deadline in place? Like, did no one do the math just a few months ahead of time and go, hold on, wait a minute, this is gonna be Joe Biden's last day in office? Did no one fucking put 2 and 2 together?
I think they already
they extended it at first, because so they passed it in April of last year, and then it was supposed to take effect in 6 months, which was right before the fucking election. So it's longer than expected, and it's the last thing on Joe Biden's legacy. And then 2 years later, in 2026, or 1 year later, I should say, because we're now in 2025, that's when more drugs will come down in cost. Trump will take credit for that. Good job, Democrats. Masterful fucking gambit, might I say.
It's literally Reagan all over again.
It's total incompetence.
Reagan all over again.
Yeah,
they gave
absolutely.
Up. I think especially
they're all supporting the Lake and Riley Act now too. Like, they're done. They're just checking out.
It's gonna be a shit show.
Morale is low for Democrats, and they're not even trying, baby. Morale is on the flow, and they're not even trying. And I'm like, everybody looks defeated.